Hello, welcome to Kia e-Niro Diaries Encore on the 19th of January. We got back from our trip to Frankfurt at 2:30 yesterday morning, so still recovering from that a bit. So there's going to be a number of videos from that trip, as I made quite a lot of material from it, and we in total did just under 2,100 kilometres. And for us, it was the longest trip we've ever done going out, where we got all the way over to Metz in eastern France, not far from the German border, and that was 750 kilometres. Never driven that far in a day before. And then 4 days later, we broke our record again as we left Frankfurt, and we just kept going until we got home. And as I say, it was 2:30 in the morning. So I'm going to go through all the stats in terms of the efficiency of the car, the time it took to charge, the cost of charging, all of that kind of thing, and some of the difficulties we had, and we had a few, some of the differences we found between France and Germany in terms of charging. And as I say, I'd just like to thank all the people who've recently been subscribing and watching. I'm actually getting a lot out of the comments. There's always stuff to learn of others' experiences with electric vehicles, because I think this trip has showed us that we're not quite there yet in terms of infrastructure for charging, and also for just charging speed of the vehicle. I mean, things are moving so fast now that we were really wishing that we'd have had something like the new Kia Hyundais with the 800 volt charging system, where we could have spent a lot less time waiting around at chargers. Anyway, you'll see all that, and say there's going to be about 3 or 4 videos, so that it's not one massive long video. And here's the first one.
Thursday the 13th of January. It's just before 7 in the morning. It's about to set off to Metz in eastern France, which is 745 kilometres away. It's minus 2 degrees, charged up to 100% with a range showing of 457 kilometres. It's going to be more likely 300 to 350 when we get going. And I put the heater on, and it drops straight down to, well, at 19 degrees it drops 57k to 400k. I think I'm going to plug in. Oh, hello. So we've just done 100 kilometres. Sun's gradually coming up. Been going for about an hour and 10 minutes, and the temperature hasn't got above 0. So this is the longest journey we've ever done in the car, the e-Niro. 740 kilometres, so that's nice to knock off 100, but long way to go. So our first stop is planned to be an Ionity charger south of Orléans, and apparently that's 228 kilometres from home. So we set off with a range with the heater on of about 395, 450 without the heater on, but so far I've averaged 19.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres, so that's not much above 3 miles a kilowatt hour. But there we go, it's winter. Thankfully it's dry, so no need for the wipers, but frosty fields everywhere, and I reckon there'll be a driver swap and a bio break before the car needs plugging in, so we'll see how we go. So the big nuclear reactor in the sky has just poked its head above the horizon, and this is e-Niro driving. And here the road runs alongside the TGV, the line just branching away actually now. Just had a TGV come past us like we're standing still, you know. That's the line that has been built since we've lived here actually. It was the one that allows you to go from Bordeaux to Paris in 2 hours and 10 minutes, which is like, I don't know, what's that, 300, 400 miles? It's London, sort of Newcastle and more distance. Pretty good. It's nice and dry, and it's 1 degree now. So 10 o'clock, done 228 kilometres, and this is the Aire de Blois-Menard, where hopefully we'll see some Ionity chargers. Interestingly, that all the way up so far, whenever there's an electric charging point, it actually shows you where it is, you know, indicates it on the display board. Yeah, go in there. Where are we? Where are they?
It pointed me this way.
What, electric car charging?
Oh.
Nope. Very, very badly signposted. Normally, there they are. Look over there. Nice row of Ionity chargers. None of them in use. Oh, you can't go that way, but yeah, we're in France. And then down there, this one. There you go. And I would go on this one because it's the lower power one. You could park right in front of that. That's fine. It'll reach. So,
Woohoo!
we've done 228 kilometres, showing a range of 121 left and a state of charge of 34. So just a question of how long we stay here. Got about another 178 to do to the next one. Yeah. So we've been 22 minutes at the Ionity station, keeping nice and warm. Still only 2 degrees, nearly 10:30 in the morning. And say we arrived with a 34% charge. 22 minutes taken us up to 49%. Interestingly, for the first 18 minutes, the charge rate was only 39-40 kilowatts, and it's now risen to 47. So it's just in the last couple of minutes it's stepped up, going a bit faster. So we've added 60-70 kilometres of charge. Mrs. e-Niro's just coming back in. I should add, by the way, that I didn't realise that when she was taking the video earlier, I was caught wearing her pink gloves. Now, you know, I don't want to. I mean, I'm totally at ease with my feminine side. I've no problem at all wearing pink gloves. She offered them to me. It was dark. It was cold. And we had the heater on, but we didn't want to go crazy with the blower. It was just, the car was just warm, so I put these on. So just say that pink gloves, I thought they looked quite good on me. Anyway, so we now, say we've speeded up to 46 kilowatts. We're just wondering whether to get up to 300 before we go on to the next one. There's another charger that's 178 kilometres along our route. It's a couple of kilometres off the auto route, next to a village church, but it's free apparently, and I can see on the Charge Map app that it's not occupied. I'll check again in a minute. So that's a kind of a possible stopping off place. That's another 178k, and then the next Ionity charger beyond that is 265k, so we'll probably stop there, by which time we would have done about 500k and only have 250 left. So we're hoping that's going to be our last stop before we reach our destination. We've got a hotel booked in Metz tonight. They say they do destination charging, primarily for Teslas, but apparently it's not a Tesla plug, it's just a CCS, but we'll see. Hopefully we can get fully charged before we head off into Germany tomorrow. Just going to show you this here, this beautiful row of 4 350 kilowatt Ionity chargers. Now, interesting, in France it's all done by the minute, which is, when you think of it, is a bit unfair, because on these chargers they charge 81 euro cents a minute, whereas the one we're plugged into, which is also Ionity, but it's only a 50 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt maximum, I think, they charge 43 cents a minute. So you think, well, even if I plug into these guys, I'm not going to be able to take any more. I think the most I've ever got in the winter off an Ionity charger is 54, and at 81 cents a minute I thought maybe not. So anyway, we'll see when the bill comes in, I guess. That's always the acid test. So yeah, up to 53% now, 224 kilometres showing. Probably going to be here another 15 minutes maybe, I don't know. Anyway, oh, it's chilly. So we've got up to 68% on this charger, but it's slowed down now to 23 kilowatts. Delivered 29.5 kilowatt hours in 41 minutes. It's been a good stop, and we've needed the stop. A little bite to eat. So, no other cars have turned up to these really rapid chargers, and I can see on the other carriage of the A10 over there, there's another load of Ionity chargers. Can't see that anybody's plugged in, but it's a bit of a way away. Anyway, 69% now. Yeah, gonna stay here for probably about another 5 minutes. I want to get up to 300 kilometers on the gasometer anyway. So we'll be cutting it a bit fine if we decide not to, if we can't, or decide not to charge at the one we're aiming at next. Anyway, we'll see how we go. So this is the A19 that heads east of Orléans, heading into what they call the Le Grand Est, or the Big East in France. It's pretty empty. We are heading for a charger that is apparently free. We are down to 83 kilometers of range and 25%. It's very, very expensive on power. It still hasn't got above 2 degrees, and we're using 20.7 kilowatt hours, which is, I think, barely 3 miles a kilowatt hour. So we're heading into not a howling gale, but it is it's a wind. We're into a headwind here. So coming off the auto route soon. 18 kilometers to get to our destination, 19 and 80 of range left. So hopefully this charger will be working, because there's not much out here. So we are in a tiny little village just off the A19. Actually we had to come off quite a bit, about 15 kilometers back, but it runs parallel. There's no junction to get off to this village, and right next to this church is a rapid charger. It's supposedly free. We hope it works. We are down to 56 kilometers of range and 19%. Really very expensive on power, as I said. 20.5 kilowatt hours we are at the moment. That's 3 miles per kilowatt hour. So anyway, let's plug in. We've been driving for 4 hours 30 minutes is the actual time the motor's been switched on, and we've done 402 kilometers, so we're over halfway now.